Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are on a match on Polar 2s and 3s in the new U.S. premium battleship, the Tier 3 South Carolina. You can get the South Carolina for free from a mission called Doom Spero. I probably mispronounced that. It is Latin. It means, what does it mean? I looked it up and I deleted the page. Something along the lines of, while I breathe, I hope. It is the motto of the state of South Carolina and, of course, the Battleship South Carolina. While I breathe, I hope. All right, that's it. I studied Latin in high school. You'd think I would know that. All right, so I have to tell you the South Carolina was a very tough ship to get a good match in. Its armor appears to be constructed of camouflage-colored paper. I can tell you I've been hit very hard, citadeled from just about every angle by Wyomings, by Arkansas, by enemy South Carolinas, by any ship of higher tier that's also a battleship. But I did pull off a good match, so unfortunately this match won't be what the average player can do in this ship, in my opinion, because this ship doesn't have a lot of redeeming qualities. I think the Arkansas is a much better ship than this ship. However, this ship is free, and you got to pay to get the Arkansas. So, that being said, they do have something in common besides the fact that they're both named after U.S. states. They both have no anti-aircraft defense whatsoever. So, something else to keep in mind about this ship, you have no AA defense. So, because there are tons of destroyers in this match, I started out shooting high explosive. Now, the South Carolina doesn't have an especially great fire setting chance, in my opinion, but really, you don't have any other way to defeat the destroyers. Don't be fooled by your secondary guns. I ran Lee in here with the secondary build, and it could just never get to the point where I felt comfortable enough to use that full time. All right, we do get some shots out there at the Langley, the enemy aircraft carrier. I'm really just trying to set them on fire. We do get a bunch of penetrations, and we do about 5,000 damage. So I do switch to armor piercing, hoping I can kill this guy and knock him out of the match relatively early. I don't know if he didn't load in and has no idea what's going on, or he just thinks that was an aberration and me shooting at him is nothing to be worried about. To be quite honest, I wouldn't be worried if the South Carolina was shooting at me based on my play in the South Carolina in the other matches that led up to this one. As you can see, absolutely stellar shell grouping. I got one hit there that may have done a couple hundred points of damage. So, unfortunately for the red team, he doesn't appear very motivated to change anything he is doing. So I'm going to line my turrets back up and eventually get all 4 turrets out on the Langley. One more time, and there we have 2 hits to Citadel. Devastating strike kill number 1. Quite frankly, I may have fallen on the floor out of shock when this happened, because to me, I don't anticipate playing the South Carolina very much, folks. It just didn't do a whole lot for me that I'm not going to get better from the Arkansas. And it doesn't have AA. So why would I play this thing with armor made out of Swiss cheese when I could play the Arkansas and at least know that I have what I have there? You know, you have a dreadnought battleship, 6 turrets, you're going to be cranking out the damage. Are you prone like all tier ships are prone to damage? Sure. But the South Carolina to me seemed especially prone to huge amounts of damage from enemy ships, even from down tier ships. So we got our 1 kill. We're moving out. Our secondaries are shooting. Our secondary thing is on a recharge. We're about half health, not counting the heal that we have coming up here in a minute. So again, we killed 1 ship and we're at half health. That's the story of the South Carolina. You're lucky to get that kill in with half your health left. It's going to be a pretty good day, you know, so I wouldn't expect much from this ship. And here's the other thing. It was free. All right, here's our second kill on a badly wounded St. Louis.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
And now we're at about a third of our health. just under a third of our health. So I'm trying not to extend myself or overextend myself. Just trying to find somebody I can shoot at from behind partial cover and shoot at them. And we will engage our first heal here. I think that's going to get me up to about 12,000. So here's another St. Louis. So again with this ship, I can't encourage it enough. Aim and shoot at cruisers first and foremost. All right, here the St. Louis, we don't hardly do any damage to the St. Louis, but I am in full reverse. I do have all my turrets pointed that way. We do get another hit to Citadel there, so that gave me a little hope that I can finish this ship off with another shot, uncontested. Nobody's shooting at us. At the St. Louis. If I said South Carolina, I was not shooting at myself. Alright, second salvo on the St. Louis, another hit to Citadel. Kill number 3. Alright, great. Just what I wanted. Another cruiser. A Kuma is coming around that same island. We are going to shoot at the Kuma, I believe, as soon as I get shells available. I don't even know what I was doing there, but I got a high caliber medal somehow. Alright, so the Kumo, again, not very impressive the first time. We're just going to keep shooting and hope that all goes well. Our team is beating the red team pretty handily. I'm not saying I was the MVP of this game or anything. But gosh, this is just such by far the best game I had in the South Carolina. I may have had one other game that was really good, but I forgot to record. There we get another Citadel on the Kuma, and we take him out for kill number 4. Alright, we are officially on the hunt for a Kraken in the South Carolina. Now we've gotten this Zuchi here, much healthier than me, and quite frankly, if my play is a little hesitant, it is because the South Carolina is a walking, talking Citadel, masquerading as a floating battleship, and I am terrified that the Isuzuchi will just light me up like hitting the jackpot at a Vegas slot machine, and I will be dead at the bottom of the ocean by the time it's all over. Alright, so we're going to shoot and not hardly do any damage, but we do knock out, at least temporarily, a turret on the Isuzuchi. So I'm going to move forward, try to get my rear turrets in action. I do shoot them. We do get a hit to Citadel there. Quite frankly, I was kind of shocked that that's what I got out of it, but I'm not complaining. Secondary guns continuing to fire here. I think in my various games in the ship, I only got one close quarters expert, so don't count on that. Another hit to Citadel. We're doing a fair amount of damage, but now we are hurting. We are relying on will to rebuild to keep us alive. And I'm being shot at from behind. I'm just ignoring those ships. I'm just going to try to bow tank the Isuzuchi here. And hopefully he doesn't change his heading. And when I get a reload, I'll be able to take him out. And I can tell you with a straight face that this is a good ship. But my teammates torpedo him and steal my kill. So there will be no Kraken in the South Carolina today. Although we did accrue over 100,000 damage, which it's probably a Guinness Book of World Records. But it's probably not the damage record, but I'm just astonished that I got that much damage. Because I gotta tell you, this match is totally an outlier. So maybe I'm just horrible. Maybe I don't know how to play the South Carolina. But at this moment, I was in astonishment that we're still going for a Kraken on a destroyer. That I don't know where it is, and the time ran out because our teammate capped the base. So we'll never find out if I could have killed that destroyer. Anyway, there are some milestones here trying to get some steel so I can get the Missouri. We ended up with a high caliber medal, devastating strike medal, 100,727 total damage, 4 kills, 7 hits to Citadel, 23 secondary battery hits. We ended up with 167,591 silver, 3068 ship XP and commander XP in the South Carolina. It's free. There's no reason not to get it unless you don't care about U.S. ships and you don't want a Swiss cheese battleship. You know, this is basically the Sims of U.S. battleships. If you end up at the top of the board with 1573 base XP like we did and 4 big kills, everyone below you should be ashamed, including this guy who didn't log into the match. But I just don't think it's a very good ship. I think it's the kind of ship you go out and have a terrible game and it would be like, oh, it's the South Carolina, no big deal. All right, here's our mods. Secondary battery mod 2. Damage con mod 2, you need that definitely, without question. Target acquisition system mod 1. And of course, artillery plotting room mod 2. I would recommend those for anybody. Here in the consumables, 3 charges of the repair party, you will need them all. 3 charges of the enhanced secondary targeting. We were not wasting a booster flag on this ship, so we did not. Here's that Type 9 permanent camo and the lovely flag of the state of South Carolina. All right, 30,200 hit points with our build and a 13% torpedo damage reduction. 4 twin 305mm turrets, 14.7 kilometer firing range, 29.1 second reload, 33.3 second turn time. HE shells 4100 damage, 20% fire chance. AP shells 8100 damage. You do have 22 secondary guns, however, very low caliber, 76.2 millimeters. Firing range 5.4 kilometers, 6 second reload. HE shells do just 1100 damage with a 4% fire chance. So I would not spec into secondaries, one man's opinion only. Maneuverability, typically poor, 15.8 knots, 480 meter turning circle, 15.7 second rudder shift time. No thank you very much on all those categories. Concealment, 11.9 on the surface, 10 kilometers flat from the air, 9.5 when firing in smoke. Here's a look at the armor viewer. I would say this is going to be typical Dreadnought battleship armor construction. Your Citadel, a little bit above the waterline, does have a heavy band running along the armor belt. The front and rear plate are heavily armored. Below that armor belt is very lightly armored. So that's terrifying when encountering deep water torpedoes. You do have an armor belt that goes all the way to the front of the ship. That is quite a refreshing breath of fresh air, although I'm not sure it does a whole lot for you because it's not very large. And I want to say your bow, aside from that, might have been 13 or 14 millimeters. I can't remember what it said there. Turrets and barbettes, not especially heavily armored. Turret faces are sloped. If you're searching for good things, that's a good thing. We'll add in this armor here. Again, you've got a armor belt here, but it will not save you. Based on the games I've had in this ship, it is a Dev Strike Citadel Swiss cheese machine waiting for your enemies to beat it up. Here's Billy Sims. You can see he's fully maxed. We got Cunningham and Madden, and this is the build I used for the ship. I switched off gyrating drill bits so as to not hamper the speed of the ship, but that is the build I recommend. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Kraken fail and a quick look at the South Kakalaki, aka the South by God Carolina. You could use properly meticulous if you were a masochist. I don't think the return is worth the investment, in my humble opinion. Is it a good ship? No. Is it a okay ship? Yes. If you're really good, you'll probably have great games in the South Carolina. If you're an average player, you'll be left a little underwhelmed at what you get here. Thanks for watching, everybody.